Hello, everyone. Good morning. How are you doing today? How was your weekend? I had wonderful time in organizing fun food fest for my daughter and her friends, and she learned about business and finance, and she made profit of what 71 dirhams. So it was a quite happening Saturday for us. And Sunday we went for a musical program like yesterday, so it was quite busy weekend for us. So please write in comments how was your weekend, what did you do, and what did you enjoy. And as people are joining, please write hello in comments and from where you're joining, which part of the world you're joining from, and how are you feeling today. You know, today you joining this session shows that you care about yourself, your family, your tribe, your community, your team. I do care. And I want everyone to be healthy, happy, and successful. And I think that's why you are also here for the same reason. Now, we are live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube right now. So I'll be getting comments from all the three streams over here. And I'll be posting the audio file on the podcast, which I have recently started. So please join the podcast. I'll put in comment section. Please join podcast. Hi, Megha. So please join the podcast because next week we have something special coming up on podcast that I'll tell you in some time. And okay, I'll tell you a little bit brief. I'll tell you. Next week, we are having a very special guest to share insight from his 30 plus years of experience in connecting with people and helping them grow, along with helping organizations to grow. So he's amazing, amazing, amazing person. I'm sure you don't want to miss to meet him. So please make sure that next week you join and you subscribe for the podcast as well. And since we are talking about the human connection is the most important thing for personal and professional growth. So human connection, building the trust, is the most important thing. Now I'll share one of my stories with you. I think it started sometime 1 year before COVID. All these COVID stories started. This happened. I was not feeling happy about what I was doing. I was not feeling happy. I was working in a good company. I was getting good salary, on time salary, appreciation for my work. I was a very high performer. I was getting appreciation. I was getting bonus. I was getting new roles and responsibility. But still, somewhere deep inside me, I was feeling low, unfulfilled, feeling that I'm not living my purpose. I was feeling empty inside and incomplete. And as I knew that I need to do something about it, I spoke with my friends and my family members. And as expected, the response was that, are you crazy? You are having something which millions of people they dream of, and still you are not happy. Be positive, think positive. You should be proud of what you are doing. Okay, but that did not make me feel any better. Rather, I was feeling sad. I was feeling that something is missing from my life. And now, on top of that, I was feeling guilty. It's same like we go to doctor. Suppose I have a 38-degree temperature or 39-degree temperature. I go to doctor and I want some cure for it. Rather than treating me, if doctor shows me another patient who has 40-degree temperature, his kidney has failed, lungs are not working, and he tell me 100 other problems with that patient and then tells me, why did you come here? Now it's not solving my problem. I feel bad about that person, but still my problem is there. I need to address it. So I'm having fever. On top of it, he's making me feel guilty. It doesn't solve the problem, right? And exactly same thing is what toxic positivity is. We talk about positivity so much that it becomes toxic at some point. We cannot be positive all the time. And toxic positivity, I'll talk about some statistics now before we go deep into it. Toxic positivity is one of the major contributors of depression. And depression is a common mental disorder globally. Like 5% of adults across the globe suffer from depression. I have gone through depression. I don't have any shame in opening it, like accepting it openly. And women feel more affected of depression than men. The reason is very simple. Woman brain is configured for emotional connection. And when we are not able to find that connection, that acceptance of our emotion, we feel depressed. So it's very natural that why women feel more depressed than men. And depression is a common illness worldwide. So with the estimate of 3.8% of population is affected by it, among that 5% is adults and 5.7% is people above 60 years of age. Approximately 280 million people in the world are depressed, and over 700,000 people die due to suicide every year because of depression. And most of them are from the 15 to 29 years of age. Isn't it not enough reason for us to talk about it in companies, in family, talk about the depression? If somebody is feeling depressed, talk about it openly. Are we waiting to lose somebody, then only we'll wake up and talk about it? That will be too late. So don't wait for it. These statistics are enough for us to wake up and talk openly about these things. Now, it's not the lack of positivity that's causing all this problem. Our social media is filled with all positivity talks. One day I was searching on Google, I just wrote positive quotes, and like so many pages were just coming one by one. I got tired and I closed it. But social media is filled with positivity. So it's not the problem with positivity, but it's excess of it and denial of the acceptance of authentic emotion. That is the main problem for this toxicity. Now, I want you to write in comments, has it ever happened with you that you wanted to share something with your friend or family and you did not do because you felt that, oh God, again they will say that be positive, don't be so negative, you always think like that, you should think, look at the brighter side. Has it ever happened with you? If yes, if it has happened, write yes in comment, because it has happened with me multiple number of times and I had to overcome it, and I'll share strategies now how to overcome that. So write in comments if you have faced toxic positivity at any point in your life, for professional or personal life, anything. Now, positivity is the tendency to be optimistic. But the question is, can someone be positive all the time? It's not possible, right? So in the social media, we see that fake it until you make it, and people pretend to be happy. It's not going to help because eight contradictions in our life will always be there: happiness and sadness, victory and defeat, fame and humiliation, gain and loss. These things will keep coming. There is no way that we can stop it. Today, somebody likes your work, tomorrow, somebody may not like your work. It's like a wheel of life. Today, we are happy, tomorrow, may not be happy. Day after tomorrow, again, we'll be happy. It just goes like this thing. So, life is like a wheel. And when the person is on top, everything is fine, everything looks good and beautiful and perfectly fine. But the wheel, when it comes down, when we are at the bottom of the wheel, that's where what is inside you matters the most. Is it a fake positivity or the true positivity? Because if it's a fake, it will turn into toxicity. And that is the main reason millions of people are suffering and experiencing depression, jealousy, resentfulness, anger, frustration, anxiety, grief, stress, low self esteem. And although the world is having so much positivity around it, still we are all suffering through that. And this is all because of that people talk about too much about positivity and they are hiding their authentic natural emotion. So in Sanskrit, we say that api sarvat varjayet, means excess of anything is bad. An excess of positivity and denying your emotion is the worst thing that anybody could ever do. So I want to say something and I want you to please pay attention to this. Healthy positivity is not excluding your natural emotions. Rather, it sheds light on the darkness of unresourceful state and elevates you towards the resourceful state. I'll repeat it again. Healthy positivity doesn't exclude your natural emotion. So if you're feeling sad right now, it doesn't say that you just ignore it. Ignoring is not the solution, addressing is the solution. So healthy positivity is not ignoring your natural emotion. Rather, address it. Say, right now, I'm feeling unresourceful, but there is a way that I can go from unresourceful state to the resourceful state. And that's what the healthy positivity is. So, at this point in this world, people need more of a listeners. People feel more of listeners. They want somebody to listen to them. When you listen, when I was feeling depressed, I really want somebody to listen to me, how I was feeling, without judging me, without telling me that I have a very good job, very everything is perfect, but still why I'm feeling empty inside. So listen without judging. Be a solution provider, not just a positive talker. Be positive, be positive. It's not possible. So, can you solve somebody's problem? If not, at least listen to them without judging them. People need empathy and compassion, not hackling. Now, I'll tell you one example. As I said yesterday, we went for a musical program, and there was a very new boy, like maybe in early 20s, and he did, I think, first time his stand-up comedy during that filler time in the musical program for 15 minutes. Stand-up comedy first time in Dubai, he does in India, and it did not go well. People started hackling him. Now in this situation he has two options. The first option is that get into depression and just don't get out of it. The second option is that it's very natural for him to feel bad about it, because he tried to like perform good but it did not go well. Now if I go and tell him, okay, just ignore, tomorrow is another day, be positive, no, it's not going to help him. If I'm in his place, definitely I'll feel bad at that moment of time. But the positivity is that, okay, you address your emotion at that moment of time, but don't get stuck in time. I felt bad on some day. That's fine. But now I have to move on to the next thing. Learn the lesson and move on to the next step. So don't deny your emotion, but don't fall in love with your emotions also. Accept them, address them, and move on. And that's where, like, the most important thing is we need to address, we need to talk about it. So that was the example which happened yesterday. People need somebody, like somebody's shoulder to cry upon, and not another like or comment on the social media. Sometimes we just need somebody to talk to us and listen to us. So simple words like, I understand what you're going through, I'm sure it's not very good to feel like this, is there anything I can do about it? This is the game changer for millions of people, especially teenagers and youngsters, to take them out from unresourceful state to resourceful state and let them listen their inner voices. And we grown ups, we need to help them. We can help them only when we help ourselves. Like previous time we spoke about being selfish. I can help somebody if I'm not, I can help somebody to come out of depression when I'm out of it. If I'm already depressed, I cannot help anybody else, right? So you have to take care of yourself first before helping anybody else. To bring healthy positivity, first thing is that listen to people without judgment. Listen to your friends, your family, your spouse, your children, your colleagues, your audience, your performers. If anybody performing for the sometime for the first time, be kind and compassionate to them, because sitting in audience and commenting is the easiest thing anybody can do. Standing on stage speaking, putting yourself in front, and putting yourself in front of camera or the crowd, that requires a lot of courage, and yesterday that boy has shown that courage. So listen to them, and the most important thing is that listen to yourself. I say this again, and I say this 100 times. Listen to yourself. Don't be so busy with your the outer voice that you forget to hear your inner voice, because your inner voice is telling you how exactly you're feeling right now. And if you're not listening to it, it is just like a sleeping volcano, and one day it erupts, and that creates bigger problem for you. So don't avoid listening to your inner voice, your inner conversation, how you're feeling it. Don't ignore it, address it, talk about it. So rather than saying that be positive or don't be so negative, change your sentences for yourself and for others. I understand it's not good to feel like this in life. I had experienced it like this. So what are you going to do about this? Is there anything I can help you with? The second thing is, which I have experienced a lot of times, and right, yes, if you have experienced the same thing, if I talk about my problem, the other person, I don't know how, why people love their problems so much. Suppose if I'm talking about, say, how I find it difficult to manage work and life and take out time for my daughter. So I'm discussing, suppose, with my friend, and rather than listening, my friend starts telling, oh, your problem is so small. My problem is big. You have only one daughter. I have three children. My in laws live with me. Okay. So now this is also toxic positivity. It's not helping me. She did not listen to me. And she's trying to belittle me by saying my problem is nothing in front of her problem. It's exactly same example like the doctor example I gave. Somebody has bigger problem, but it doesn't solve my problem. I'm still at the same place, right? So this kind of statements, if you are making such statements, don't do that. Just listen without judgment. Don't fall in love with your problems. Listen to other person's problem, because your problem is not going to solve their problem until it's motivating them. That's another topic altogether. So rather than saying that don't feel like this, say that, please share, how do you feel? I'm listening. I'm here for you. Anytime you want to talk, I am there. I can listen to you. So don't worry, be happy. You can say that I'm curious to know what's bothering you. I worried about you. I care for you, so I know what's bothering you. So you can change your vocabulary to change from toxic positivity to healthy positivity. You're not telling anybody or to yourself that just be positive all the time, deny your emotion. No, you're telling, address them, but don't fall in love with them. Just move on, learn from it, and move on to the next level. And if you have somebody around you who is like very toxic person and spreading toxic positivity, like my example I was giving, that when I was talking about my struggle, that with how I manage my work life and all the responsibilities, and my friend started saying that okay, she has bigger problems. So set healthy boundaries with those people who are too much toxic, because the time we spend with somebody, we get impacted at some level. So if somebody is toxic, just try to maintain distance. That's the only way. And accept your imperfection. Now there's a very interesting story about imperfection. It's not very much related to the topic, but I'll share with you. Once I went for the video shooting, and the one of the partners of that video shooting company was the makeup artist. So she told me that okay, we will do makeup for you and we'll charge around 500 dirhams. So I said okay, I'm not master in makeup. I said okay, you just do it. And she took around 2 hours for doing my makeup. And when finally she showed me mirror, I was like, ah, I was shocked. I was shocked not because I was looking ugly. I was shocked because I was not looking me. And I told her, I do not like it because I'm not looking me. And she said, yeah, but you look beautiful. And I said, I'm not looking me. Again, she repeated, but you look beautiful. And I said, yeah, that's fine. But I love the way I am and I need to look me. People know me as a me. They don't know me as something who's more beautiful than me, right? So that was the thing. And finally, we removed the makeup and we did the video shoot. But the point is that accept your imperfections, because once you accept it, you will not bother about whether you get the like or not like or anything. You just give it. Like last podcast, I gave the example of the flower gives a fragrance irrespective of any judgment. So you become like that when you accept your own imperfections. So just do it. Acknowledge your like things, acknowledge your imperfections, acknowledge your emotions, address them, and just go to the next step. And the most important thing, I always say, everything starts at home. So if any of your family member is expressing something, please listen to them before it's too late. We don't want to add more numbers to the statistics from where we started today, our discussion. We don't want to add even a single number over there. We have to reduce it. And everything starts from our family. Listen to them. I remember once my niece, she asked me that, what is the one thing I like the most about my husband? And my answer was very simple. I did not say he's loving, caring, understanding. I just said I can be myself. I can, if I'm crazy, I'm crazy. If I'm like horrible, I'm horrible. If I'm good, I'm good. So I can be myself with him no matter what. And that's the most important thing. That level of comfort we need to give to each member of our family. Can they be themselves the way they are rather than we judging them and trying to change for something? This is the most important thing. So I want you to reflect at this point. Do you give enough freedom and space to every family member that they can be themselves? Or are you trying to change them in some way? Because when you're trying to change means indirectly you're telling them you are not perfect and I'm the one who's going to make you perfect. And this is the beginning of this cycle of toxic positivity and eventually to depression. And I don't want to use even that term because I don't want to add to that number. So give space to your family members, give space to yourself, accept the way you are. Because toxic positivity is faking that there is no problem and putting problems under the carpet. But the healthy positivity is accepting it, addressing unresolved emotions, and moving from unresolved state to unresourceful state to resourceful state, from inaction to action, from blame frame to outcome frame. So from problem you are moving to the solution. So be healthy, positive, make a positive difference in the world, because when you are having healthy positivity, your self esteem will go up and you will not bother how many likes you are getting, anybody posting any comment, because you are doing, because that makes you happy, not because you want somebody to judge and validate it for you. And you being positive will make the whole difference, because whatever we do, we influence everybody around us. So be positive, but be healthy positive. Don't get into the trap of toxic positivity. And I hope this has added value to you today, because this is a health month, like the mental health month. So I'll try to take the similar topics for another 3 weeks. And we have few comments here. Thank you so much for your time. And please write in comments if you have any stories, or how did you feel about it? And if you know any toxic person, or if you yourself are a toxic positive person, and what actions you are taking to change it, because it will take some time to change. Thank you so much. It was really nice meeting you. Please subscribe to podcast, because in some time I'll be posting this audio file on podcast. Have a nice week.